Today I'm making chicken soup because I'm sick and everyone knows that chicken soup has magical healing powers. I start by melting a big chunk of butter in a large pot. Meanwhile, I peel a couple of onions, cut them in half and place them cut side down into the pot. No need to chop them finely, they are just for the broth. Next I grab a piece of celery, trim off the outer layer because it looks kind of sketchy, and chop it into smaller pieces. Then I roughly cut some leeks, or is it also called puree in English? Whatever, you know what I mean. I also chop up some carrots and throw everything into the pot. In Germany we have these pre-packaged soup veggie mixes. Not sure if that's a thing everywhere, but I wouldn't want to miss out on a good old package of Suppengemüse. Next I chop up some parsley. I also remove the inner part of the leek since I want to add it later, but the outer layer goes straight into the broth. Then I smash some garlic cloves, peel them and check if my onions have some color. They've got some nice brown spots, could be darker for more flavor, but I'm sick and have no patience, so we're moving on. Now I add the chicken. I'm using drumsticks, but honestly use whatever part you like. Just maybe avoid chicken breast unless you enjoy dry, chewy chicken in your soup. I pour in enough water to fully cover everything, then toss in the garlic and parsley. Now for the seasoning. I toss in some peppercorns, cloves and bay leaves, then grate in half a nutmeg. I give it a good mix and add 3 tablespoons of salt. Oh, and I almost forgot the ginger. I quickly slice a thumb-sized piece and throw it in. While the soup comes to a boil, I chop the rest of my vegetables. Once it starts boiling, I put the lid on, lower the heat and let it simmer gently. After about 40 minutes, I fish out the chicken and strain the broth. I try to be careful, spooning the broth through the sieve while sneaking in a few bites of carrot. But patience is not my strength, so I made a bit of a mess. I also press the remaining veggies to get every last drop of flavor out. Now I take my pre-cut carrot chunks, put them in the pot and pour my strained broth back in. Then I remove the chicken skin, which I'll use later, and pull the meat off the bones. I recommend letting the chicken cool down a bit before this step, it makes things a lot easier. Make sure to get rid of that one weird spiky bone, nobody wants that surprise in their spoon. If you're a wild one, you can just toss everything in without checking, but I like to go piece by piece, making sure there's no skin or cartilage left before adding the meat back to the soup. I let it cook for another 5 to 10 minutes before adding the rest of the vegetables. I pre-cook the carrots a bit since they take longer to soften. This way the other veggies won't turn into mush while waiting for them to be done. While the soup is finishing up, I take the chicken skin, salt it and sear it until it's crispy. Now the last thing we need, noodles. And when you're sick, what's better than minion noodles? I mean, just look at that little adorable yellow guy. I chop up some extra parsley and after the noodles are done, we're ready to serve. To finish it off, I top my soup with the fresh parsley and my crispy chicken skin. Finally, time to taste. I don't know why, but chicken soup is the only thing I can actually taste when I'm sick. So it's my number one choice when I'm feeling lousy. And it tastes great. And I already can feel its healing power. Probably boosted by at least 10%. Thanks to the minion noodles. That's it for now, see you in the next one.